Just when it looked like Chicago was catching its rhythm, the football gods threw a brutal curveball. Injuries everywhere, momentum slipping, and a rivalry loss still echoing through the locker room. And that's when the Bears made a stunning move, bringing a surprising group of players into Halas Hall, including one arrival that will send shockwaves straight up I-94. It tells you everything about where this team stands. Desperate. No, determined. They know these next games decide everything, and they're not waiting around for luck to show up. They're hunting solutions fast. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay right here, because what Chicago does next could define the entire season. The moment I saw the Bears had worked out Taylor Elgersma, I felt that familiar spark of intrigue. The kind that shows up when a team on the brink of a playoff run starts making moves that tell you they're not satisfied, not complacent, not willing to let injuries and circumstance derail what has been one of the most electrifying seasons Chicago has seen in years. And let me be very clear, Elgersma isn't just another name on a transaction wire. He's a former Packers quarterback who flashed real precision in preseason action, and the idea of him walking into Halas Hall after coming out of Green Bay. Oh, that's a storyline thick enough to chew. But beyond the drama, this is about a coaching staff searching for answers while key players like Rome Odunze, Kyler Gordon, and Tyreek Stevenson are battling injuries at the worst possible time. What I find fascinating here is the emotional calculus behind a move like this. You've got Ben Johnson, a man who's already stirred tension inside the division with that grin and gunshot comment about enjoying beating Matt LaFleur, now evaluating a quarterback Green Bay couldn't find room for. Tell me that doesn't add a layer of symbolism. Elgersma is 6'5" with touch, accuracy, and poise, completing 72% of his passes in college and delivering a clean, efficient preseason for the Packers. And the Bears bringing in a quarterback right now, during a stretch where every snap has weight, tells me Johnson is absolutely unwilling to let depth issues sneak up on him. He's seen too many seasons around this league fall apart because a team didn't have a contingency plan, didn't have the foresight to fortify the margin. Now, I know some fans will look at these workouts and shrug. 2 receivers, 2 interior defensive linemen, 2 defensive backs, and a quarterback. But that's where I think people misunderstand how teams survive December football. These aren't luxury evaluations, these are stress tests. Losing Rome Odunze, even temporarily, strips Caleb Williams of a safety blanket. Bringing in Jaquin Jackson and Don't Mayers isn't just about filling a depth chart. It's about finding someone who can give you 20 snaps of energy, who can flip field position, who can execute the role without hesitation. And while the headlines will gravitate toward Elgersma, I'm telling you the defensive workouts matter just as much. When your corners are limping and your playoff seed is hanging in the balance, a guy like Derek Forrest, someone with real NFL production, can be the difference between a broken coverage and a season-saving stop. But let's circle back to Elgersma, because that's where the emotional pulse of this story really sits. You don't bring in a quarterback from a rival unless you see something you genuinely want to explore. His touch, his size, his poise, they all fit the prototype Ben Johnson covets. Accuracy first, decision-making second, improvisation only when needed. And the fact that Elgersma delivered a clean preseason with no interceptions, that matters because Johnson cannot afford turnovers from his depth pieces. And given how physical the Packers were last week, how relentless their front seven played, you can feel the Bears preparing for the kind of late-season grind where quarterback insurance is no longer a luxury but a requirement. Still, what I appreciate most about this moment is the sense of urgency it reveals. Too often, teams in playoff contention stand pat, trusting momentum instead of managing reality. But the Bears aren't pretending everything is fine. They're acknowledging their injuries. They're acknowledging their vulnerabilities. They're acknowledging the razor-thin margin they're operating within as they fight for postseason control. And that honesty, that refusal to be passive, is a sign of a team coached by someone who understands exactly what December football demands. Ben Johnson may talk boldly, he may stir rivalries, but moves like this show you he's also calculating, proactive, and keenly aware of how quickly fortune can shift in this league. So here's my question to Bears fans. Do you see Taylor Elgersma and this entire batch of workouts as smart roster insurance for a playoff push? Or do you read it as a red flag that Chicago's depth is more fragile than we realized? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the conversation, because this playoff race is tightening, and every decision the Bears make from here on out is going to echo loudly.